In the large parking lot of a supermarket at Tor, a man of about 46 years old spent his days. His life had changed drastically since he lost his job more than 3 years earlier, but every morning, punctually, he went there, to that parking lot that for him represented an opportunity. His goal? Help people carry their groceries to their cars, fix their carts, or simply be of support to those in need. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. His station was fixed, under the trolley shelter, sometimes even on rainy or windy days. Ettore had never missed a day. People saw him every day in that place, but not everyone was willing to acknowledge his help. New customers looked at him suspiciously, sometimes hurrying their pace to avoid meeting his gaze. Some ignored him completely, as if he were an invisible shadow. His presence, for them, was nothing more than an annoying distraction. "Why don't you look for a real job?" they would sometimes say to him in a harsh and disdainful tone. Those words, so cutting, hurt Ettore, but he never responded. He simply continued to smile, offering his help with disarming kindness, hoping that, in return, someone could give him a few pennies to get through the day. The regular customers, however, were very different. They had known him for a long time and considered him almost a friend. Every time they saw him, they greeted him with a sincere smile. "Hi, Ettore, how are you today?" And he, with his usual calm, always responded politely, "Okay, thanks. Can I give you a hand with the shopping?" He never asked for money, and if someone offered him a few euros, he accepted them with gratitude, but without ever asking for them. Often it was the older customers or those with mobility difficulties who trusted him. The trust they had in Ettore was evident. They allowed him to park their cars or load the heaviest bags into the trunk. In exchange, someone would give him a bag with some groceries, fruit, bread, or some product he could take home. Ettore never expected anything, but those gestures of kindness warmed his heart. His days went by like this, between pushing a cart, giving a smile, and receiving a thank you. His presence had become an essential part of the parking lot. Even the supermarket employees knew him well. They greeted him every time they passed in front of his station, sometimes stopping to chat during their break. "Ettore, is everything okay today? Are you cold? Keep these gloves on, they will protect your hands." And he, with his usual simplicity, thanked him deeply, appreciating every little gesture that made him feel part of a community. The holiday season was especially busy for him. With more customers and a full parking lot, Ettore was busier than ever. He helped put away the boxes outside the supermarket and helped customers find a parking spot. Even in those stressful moments, he never lost his smile or said a word out of place. His dedication impressed everyone he met. One day, however, something changed. A customer, visibly annoyed by his constant presence in the parking lot, entered the supermarket with a haughty air. She immediately went to the information desk and, in a firm voice, asked to speak to the manager. "I can't stand that man out there. He could be dangerous. How can we be sure he won't rob someone?" The employees, who knew Ettore well and his kind nature, tried to reassure her. "Madam, Ettore is an honest person. We have known him for years. He has never bothered anyone." But the customer would not listen to reason. She was determined to get what she wanted. When the director, a middle-aged man with a serious but empathetic air, was informed of the situation, he decided to listen patiently to the woman's complaints. "I understand your concerns, ma'am," he said calmly. "Come to my office, we'll talk about it in peace." The woman followed him, confident that a decision would finally be made regarding Ettore. Once in the office, The manager tried to reassure the customer. "Don't worry, I will resolve the situation personally. I can guarantee you that you will never see that man in the parking lot again." The woman, satisfied, left the office, confident that she had solved her problem. But the director, before making a decision, wanted to talk to Ettore. With a serious expression, he left his office and headed toward the parking lot. "Ettore, can you come for a moment? We need to talk," he said in a firm tone. Ettore, surprised and slightly worried, followed the manager into the supermarket. He felt that something was about to change, but he didn't know what to expect. The employees, seeing them pass by, exchanged worried glances. They feared that Ettore might lose his small but precious routine. When they reached the office, the director sat down behind his desk and looked Ettore in the eye. "So, Ettore," he began, "you've been here a long time. Tell me a little about yourself. Do you have a family?" Ettore, in a small voice, replied, "Yes, I have a wife and a small son. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble. That wasn't my intention. I just needed to bring something home for them, and here I felt accepted." The manager listened carefully, then stood up and put on his jacket. "Ettore," he said in a serious but kind tone, "in all these years, only one person has complained about you. The employees have always spoken well of you. They have told me how kind and helpful you are." He paused, looking at Ettore, who was holding his breath. Then he continued, "I've made a decision. You can't stay in the parking lot anymore." Ettore's heart skipped a beat. "But I want to offer you a chance. Starting tomorrow, you'll work here in the supermarket. We need people like you." Ettore was speechless. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. After years of hard work and sacrifice, someone finally believed in him, giving him a real opportunity. Thank you so much," he said, his voice breaking with emotion. He walked out of the office with a bright smile, and when the employees saw him, a warm applause broke out. "Well done, Ettore. You deserve it," they said to him as they hugged him one after the other. Ettore, overwhelmed with joy, could not hold back the tears of happiness. That day marked the beginning of a new life for Ettore. He was no longer the man wandering around the parking lot looking for a coin, but a full-fledged member of the supermarket staff. He returned home that evening with a light heart and a new hope. When he told his wife and son about the great miracle that had happened, their eyes shone with joy. From that day on, Ettore worked with commitment and dedication. He never stopped being the kind and helpful person he had always been. But now, with the security of a real job, his future and that of his family finally seemed serene and bright. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.